as we do.
Right. That's like our thing. We know us so well. And also, here comes our own music, because that's what you want to do when you open up your own channel. I think we're live.
I'll be the judge of that.
Oh, no, that would be terrible.
Hey, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's terrible.
Why? Why is that terrible?
We're online.
Copy that link.
Copy
Go to
that
page.
link.
Paste it there.
First few minutes of the worst live stream on television.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get ready for it. This is where we bring the quality. Is right in the first few minutes when we're
Absolutely. It is pure raw quality.
when we're fidgeting with things and Zoom backgrounds and changing names and making sure we're online. This is where the quality starts. In fact, starting, I'm going to go ahead and hit record.
I, too, will hit record.
Oh, I should fire up a record program. Bam.
That is required in order to hit record.
I mean, I'm sure I've got some record buttons around here that I could hit.
I want to deliver everything like this.
So 32.
Hey, what episode are we on?
32.
We're professionals.
We have done this goddamn remote show for 32 goddamn episodes.
Yeah.
That's about 20 too many.
We're stuck in the nightmare zone.
We're going to make that our new theme song. It's great. I love it.
Stuck in this nightmare with you.
Well, I don't know why I came here tonight. I've got 3 dumbasses that are all white. And they're talking about some movies. They don't know what they're talking about. I just went into a different song there. I stopped at the Steelers wheel, somewhere in the middle.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, most of the comments when we do not know what we're talking about whatever thing, mention the fact that we are white, which is beyond our control. Believe
Wait,
me.
really?
Yeah. Believe me, I've looked into it.
Like comments on our YouTube page?
Uh-huh.
Say we're too white?
Well, yeah, usually it's just like, what do these stupid fat white boys know, or whatever stuff. I don't know.
Oh, well, we know a lot of things.
Too
we're
busy
idiots.
virtue signaling you guys.
Yeah. We're usually telling you how awesome we are, or is that what virtue signaling is? Like, hey,
No.
our signals
No.
are great, and
No.
you should know.
No.
That is-
virtue signaling is when you support causes because you want internet clout.
Really?
You want recognition
That's what that
for
shit means.
supporting
I
those
really
causes.
don't. I just, like I said, I've kind of just given up on the fact that like language has become so stupid and ever.
The theory is that no one cares about anything. The only time you
know.
say that you care about something is so when you want someone to praise you for saying the right thing, even though there is no right thing because everyone who's saying the right thing is just virtue signaling.
Huh. Okay.
So if I said, "Hey, don't murder,"
Hey, don't tell me what
I'm
to
not
do.
actually saying I support not murdering people. What I'm saying is, please give me.
Is it
warm
then
and
my job to
fuzzies.
point out all the times you've murdered people? To
Yeah.
say like how hypocritical you are?
Oh, so that's a completely different thing.
Oh.
Like people who use the term virtue signaling don't really have a concept of hypocrisy
Oh.
Right.
at all.
Okay.
Because they're like what they're doing is actually like more of an example of virtue signaling than what they're accusing other people of doing. They're looking for people to like praise them for calling other people out for being, you know, for basically
They're
doing
basically
things
just
for
saying,
clout. Yeah.
debate me.
Yeah. It's
So that
yet
the-
another one of those.
The proud debate boy family will will praise them at the next meeting.
Right.
You got that virtue signaler pretty good. They don't actually believe you shouldn't kill unarmed civilians.
Yeah. They're just saying it so that Gwyneth Paltrow will show up at their birthday party
'Cause
or
that's
something.
exactly how it works.
Yeah.
So wait, if I get enough internet clout, so wait, is
Yeah.
that clout? Did clout become gloop? and you just
No, clout became nothing.
Oh, okay.
So gloop then.
So okay. So my point stands.
Yeah.
Good old goop.
I mean, it was.
Cram a
We're-
crystal in your cooter.
Were vagina scented candles ever a reward on clout for like becoming the mayor?
Probably, yeah. We just didn't have enough
Yeah.
Yeah.
vagina clout to qualify. We were just
Story
getting
of my
McDonald's gift cards
fucking life, man.
and energy drinks. If
Yeah.
we had just expressed some popular opinions about vaginas on Twitter.
Hey, you know what,
Maybe we could have gotten a box in a box.
guys? I don't know if you've heard, but vaginas are pretty awesome.
They're among my top 5 favorite things.
You guys are just virtue signaling.
Um,
No one believes this.
in this case, if it works, I don't care.
One might say vaginas are choice. Oh wait, don't do that. We can't
Ah,
do that
racist.
anymore. God damn it!
You
Yes.
have revealed your true self.
Fuck.
Wait, which?
I thought it was like a sideways or something.
Yeah, I
one.
think it has to be like, yeah.
Am I still
No, that's
okay?
the-
Am I
no,
okay to?
No, that okay. No, they're
This
all
is-
wrong. But that one just means okay. The other one is the weird, like I get to kick you in the nuts game.
But that's only below the belt or something,
This one, yeah.
right?
Below the nips.
Yeah. Okay.
Got to be below the nips.
Right. But I mean, I can still like buckwheat. Okay. Right. I mean, like.
No, that's also racist.
But because it's buckwheat, like not.
I didn't name the fucking character. It's just a famous goddamn thing he did.
Oh, day.
I said okay. I at least tried a little bit. I just don't even want to talk anymore. Like
All right,
apparently I don't.
my work here is done.
Apparently I don't know the language anymore, and you know it's just. And then whatever you do say, it's a trap.
Yes.
It is always a trap.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't worry. Chuck and I are only trapping you into jokes.
Right. That's all we want. Jokes.
All right. Well, now that I got the foolishness out of the way,
Let's
should
get
we
out of
do a
here,
nice,
shall we?
Nice
Yes.
serious.
I'm
show?
Harlow.
Let's get down to brass tacks, or if we can't
Oh,
afford
that's so
brass,
offensive.
10.
Let's get down to brass subtext.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Nice. Balls.
Man, look at how white my beard is getting.
I was referring to brass balls. Therefore, subtext.
You should color it and look ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, what color, Chuck?
Doesn't matter. Any color other than the color you've got right now will look fucking dumb. I'm speaking from experience.
I think he's
Oh, no.
challenging.
Did you try to color your beard once?
I did, yes.
I think he's challenging you to try to naturally dye your beard. And
I'm not going to do that.
oh, okay.
If I'm going
I
to
was
dye
gonna-
it, it will be
I
an
was going to goad
unnatural
you
color.
into it. Like,
Yeah.
this is why we work sort of situation.
It's exactly what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
No, I'm fine with the beard of many colors here.
Mm-hmm.
Although this is a little bit weird, this like dark patch. It's like I've got a mask on or something.
Let's talk about things.
No.
Yeah. I vote yes. Overruled.
Whoa. That's not how juries work.
Well, it is. If you said go, he said no, and I said yes, then overruled. It's exactly how democracy works.
That's
Yeah, we gotta have people actually cast their votes. All right.
Wait,
What?
hold on.
Oh, hold up.
Everyone's recording.
Yes, I thought that happened a while back.
Well, BJ never said the thing.
Oh,
Backwards I am talking.
Yeah. All right.
There we
Oh,
go.
you're gonna
Thanks,
do that?
Jack.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, fresh new bit here.
How do you like it?
vanilla-y. It's the finest of the flavors.
Sure.
All right, and welcome to the BMFcast Variety
Hey!
Hour.
All right. Woo! It's Friday hour.
It's not our normal thing still, but it's episode
Ba-da,
32
ba-da-da.
of these non-normal things that are the new normal things.
God damn it.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
We're now 32-bit entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We've done 32 of these bits.
It's
They've all been bad.
It's a good bit.
Bad sectors.
Yeah. Oh, hey, but I'm Harlow.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
Yeah. And, yeah, we're not doing our normal thing, but it is our new normal thing. So, yeah, it's just variety. We're just going to talk about stuff. What we've been, watching.
You know, nerd things. You know, the hot stuff that the nerds talk about.
Yeah, it's our new Nerd Chat Central. Check us out.
Oh, God. I don't want to be another Nerd Chat podcast. I'm out.
Yeah. Like, rate, and subscribe. If you are the lucky 100,000th subscriber, you get a truckload of Funko Pops. Yeah.
Not a guarantee.
I didn't say what size truck. I will send away a Tonka truck size person to the 100,000th subscriber on YouTube. Easily.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
When we
Yes,
reach
the
that
contest
in
stands.
when we
Yeah.
reach that in 700 years,
I wasn't
we
going to
can
give
talk about
away
it.
the tiny little text at the bottom right away, but you forced my hand. But anyway, we watched some movies and some stuff.
Yeah, we did.
Chuck,
Did we?
Chuck took a little staycay at home.
We did.
Watched
Yeah.
a lot of things.
Watched like 50 things since the last podcast we've done.
Well, you're watching like 50 things a month, 50 to 100 things a month, right?
Yeah, but think about it. We haven't done a regular ass variety hour in a while because we had award shows and holidays and crazy shit.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I probably watched the newest thing unless anybody else watched something later than 2021.
No.
No.
Am I the only one who watched The Little Things on HBO Max?
Yes.
I think that's affirmative. Well, I mean, probably not the only one, but among us, yes.
Okay. I don't have much to say about it because it's not very good.
This
When it
is
was over, I was like, well,
This is the Denzel, Rami Malek, and
Jared Leto.
okay. I almost
Movie.
said Twilight guy. I couldn't remember who the other,
No.
like the pale
Yeah, it's
other person was.
it's the Joker.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just not very good. I don't know. It's just it just kind of happens, and then when it ends, you're like, well, okay, at least we didn't go to the theater and pay for that and risk catching a disease.
Is it the kind of acceptable movie that is at least worth watching, or is it just like there are better things you could do?
I would say it's lower than Chuck Fine.
Okay.
I did not come away from it thinking I would watch that again someday. I came away from it thinking, glad that's over.
Okay.
It's weird because it's a script that was written in the 90s, and for some reason they decided to keep it there. like the film takes place at the time the script was written. It very much feels like a throwback to something that was absolutely written in the 90s.
Okay.
It's just one of these things that doesn't come out anymore. It's like a pre-7 cops chasing a serial killer kind of thing. And that's really kind of it. I mean,
what
it's
I
hard
saw looked like one of those like more watered down ones, like Along Came a Spider, or one of those where it's like, yeah, this is like
It's-
7, but it's not going to make you go yeah all the time.
it's more watered down than that.
Okay.
It's one of those movies where it's a lot of brooding. It's not really even a lot of cool like detectiving. It's just a lot of people are sad and they're sitting alone, and you will experience their sadness, and then people make stupid decisions, and then the movie's over. Jared Leto is the best thing in it, which pains me to say because I don't like Jared Leto, but he plays a good weirdo. He's a very effective weirdo.
Okay.
And guess what? He's a weirdo in this.
Hmm.
So that's all I got for that. It's,
Yeah.
It exited
One
my brain
shrug up.
so quickly when it was over. I was just like, man, that one thing that character did was real dumb, and no one on the planet would ever do that. Okay, anyway. So, yeah.
Chuck watched it, so we don't have to.
Yeah. Again, I'm glad we're spared the whole like box office talk about these things. It'll the result of this movie will just be it'll just be a footnote basically, instead of like, oh, that movie lost $1 zillion because no one gave a shit. So
Yeah. Anything else?
But don't worry, it still lost $1 zillion.
well, yeah, by default. But yeah, no, that was me thinking here I go. It's the start of a new year. I'm gonna keep up with all the 2021 releases and watch them all as they come. And then I looked at Wikipedia, and there's already been like 100 releases this year. So I'm just like, fuck.
Yeah, and they're starting to get worse. I mean, I'm just seeing like the quality of like from where we started with the lockdown of the, all right, this is the shovelware movies we weren't going to bother with, or the backups or whatever. But now I feel like we're getting down to the, like some of these are starting to look real rough and.
Yeah. Plus we're getting into that made during the pandemic stage.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like some of these are like, these look weird and
I
aren't properly lit or whatever.
I want no part of this. I want no part of we put 2 actors in a house for 6 months and they filmed a movie together. It's like, I don't want that. Absolutely don't want that.
I mean, if it's like you're going to bother to make it a thing and not just to exist because we have to make X number of movies per year or whatever, like that's the thing is like, this should breed creativity, instead of just like, oh, well, we've got to get the same number of movies out that we've always had out. It should just be like, no, go away for 2-3 months, polish the fuck up out of the script you've been working on, and then come back and we'll, find the thing in your pile that was like the least number of characters in the least number of places, polish the fuck out of it, and come back in 2 months and we'll make it something good.
Well, I tell you, if this Denzel movie had come out like at the start of next year, I would have been like, oh, that was a pandemic thing.
Right.
They were like, let's make that. But yeah, no, I'm glad that we've got this buffer of movies that never came out to cover for the fact that the next year of entertainment is going to suck. Not nobody's fault or anything, but it's just going to be like, you can't make a movie the way you made one 2 years ago. So,
right.
We've talked about all this before.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Little Things is not very good. So,
Don't worry, 2022 will also suck.
oh, yes, I know.
Because as soon as they let people get together and film movies again, they're just gonna like, oh, what's ready right now? And go. And all of the movies that were shot in 2021 are going to be like 2 people in a room. So
Yep.
I wonder if like indie movies should do well this year. It should be like, all right, you got this lockdown thing. You have like 5 friends that you've, have been in your personal bubble that you're okay with being around. And you've been working on that script for 94 years anyway. So go ahead and shoot the motherfucker
I have a
on your
feeling
iPhone.
that everyone's lockdown plan of I'm going to create the great thing simply just became, no, I'm going to sit on the couch and eat potato chips, because that's what everyone's lockdown plan became, which was just like, I'm going to work out and I'm going to get buff. And then it was like, you know what? No, I'm just going to drink. I'm going to drink and yell at people on the internet.
Well, I would like to let you know that my lockdown thing has been quite successful. I have eaten potato chips and drank, and that was pretty much my plan. So,
Mission accomplished.
Yeah.
Hang
Hang
a
that
banner.
banner.
So
I wish I had a button where I could just unfurl a banner behind me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else of note in the big pile of movies you've been watching, or
I mean,
other
nothing-
than I know we have a shared thing we're going to discuss, but I'm
Yeah.
probing if there's anything else like.
Not really. I mean, I've revisited a bunch of stuff that I was either super high on or was kind of in the middle on and have enjoyed, but they're old things. So you don't need me saying, hey, Broken Arrow is real stupid but pretty good, or Mr. Mom is a great comedy and Michael Keaton was great in the 80s. So those are
Yeah.
common opinions.
This is known, Khaleesi.
Yes, that's why I'm not getting into it.
So I've started kind of doing a thing. I'm not making any promises. This is just how I'm like getting through my work days.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. Well, it started off with I was thinking about how I hadn't seen Mad Max, the first one, in quite a long time, which explains my Zoom background here. And so I searched down Mad Max and I put it on and I was like, wow, that's nothing like I remember it being. Perhaps I didn't watch this movie at all. Perhaps I'd only seen The Road Warrior and Thunderdome, like Beyond Thunderdome. I was like, what don't I remember about the rest of them? So I put those on while I was working and managed to work my way through all four of the Mads Maxes. And so that led me into like, what other short series or like trilogies or something have I not seen in a long time that that would be worth a revisit. By the way, the Mads Maxes are still really good. I think I put on the Discord what my rating was, but I have kind of forgotten exactly which order I rated them in. I think Fury Road, Road Warrior, and then Beyond
First one was
Thunderdome,
last,
and then
yeah.
and then Mad Max. Although I would not say that Mad Max the first is a bad movie at all. Like it's not a place of dishonor to be last in the Mad Max series. It's just definitely not anywhere near what you think of when somebody says Mad Max culturally these days. Like
Yeah,
that may be
call
what
that movie Max.
right. Exactly. Yeah.
Moderately steamed. Yeah. Wasn't
Yeah.
that the name of our or something like that? There was like an old No Quarters episode where we talked about the game. It was like moderately steamed
moderately
Max.
steamed Max.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
kind
actually,
of annoyed Max.
Yeah. I've actually always thought of like Mad Max to the Road Warrior. Not that they're exactly the same, but it's kind of like Evil Dead to Evil Dead 2. I mean, one's a continuation of the other, and the other one's more of a direct remake. But it's
Right.
everyone thinks
Everyone
of,
remembers the second one.
Yes, everyone remembers the second one, and very few people have actually seen the first one, or if they have, they don't really remember anything from it. They actually remember things from the second one, and it's kind of a reboot idea to what it actually became. I mean, the Evil Dead
Yeah.
movies definitely switched gears after that. So
Yeah, it's very strange because it feels like a post-apocalyptic world in Mad Max, but I'm just going to call the second one the Road Warrior for clarity. in the Road Warrior, it definitely is a post-apocalyptic universe. But Mad Max is just like, yeah, things are a little bit fucky. Like, it's like this could just be Australia. You don't know. Like,
Yeah, I
I've
mean, they're
never
still
been
going
to
on
Australia.
picnics and stuff,
Yeah,
and
that's what I was gonna say. It feels like if
Right.
it happened, it it hasn't like the full danger hasn't sunk in yet. Where it's like maybe don't go outside if you don't have to, kind of living.
Yeah, it's like year one of the pandemic, perhaps.
right, yeah. The Mohawk gang has not shown up yet.
Right. Yeah, I'm the more I think about it, the more I'm pretty sure that I've never seen Mad Max. I'd only seen the Road Warrior
Well, doesn't the
on.
second one also cover the last 10 minutes of Mad
Yes.
Max at the beginning?
It does in montage.
Yeah.
Yeah. It actually covers a fair amount of the movie. Like it covers the basic plot of what happened in the first one. None of those movies are real clear what exactly happened, but that's fair.
I actually think that's kind of part of the. I mean, I think that's sort of intentional to have like not a clear actual narrative between them.
Yeah.
It's kind of to be more
That's-
like a Zatoichi kind of thing, where it's like, all right, yes, same character, and his basic origin, so to speak, but we're not really concerned about like, hey, what happened to the kids after Thunderdome, or hey, like what happened with this. It's not super important. It's just like, yeah, shit's in the wasteland. It probably went south, but you don't need to see it. Just he's on a new adventure.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then so after watching the first three, Fury Road is such a triumph of filmmaking for that to be made in the modern era of film is like both like an amazing reckless disregard for life of stuntmen, which I appreciate, and also I know movies still get made with a lot of practical effects, but holy shit, like 99% of that, and somebody will probably tell me I'm wrong, but it seems like 99% of that is practical effects, and it looks fucking awesome. The only thing that I have any truck with is the sandstorm scene. That looks like a video game, just straight up video game, and I'm fine. I'm here for it because it's cool.
Yeah.
I think it's the
And they're-
strobe effect. That doesn't do it any favors. Like the
Which-
whole thing's that it's all kind of done in like a strobe lightning effect that doesn't help. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, it's yeah.
I've never been in a giant boob, so what do I know? It could look exactly like that. Maybe it does. But yeah, so the other really really interesting thing about Fury Road is how many, and this is something that I never would have noticed unless I watched them back to back to back to back. How many little homages or nods to the past movies were in Fury Road. Like it seems like once every 3 or 4 minutes there's a little trinket or something, or a little character or a phrase or a movement or something that reminds me of the previous three. Well, specifically like Road Warrior and Thunderdome. It doesn't really touch much on Mad Max the First, but yeah, so many little like nods to the previous movies in Fury Road. It's there was even like just like a 2 second shot, possibly panning through at some point, where a kid's playing with the little music box, with the little music box guts. I couldn't hear it. I'm not sure if it was playing Happy Birthday or not, but just loads. Like it's almost like a modern day love letter to the previous two movies, but it's fucking glorious. And I had it cranked the fuck up because it was the middle of the day and I didn't care. Um, but yeah, those movies are still are great fun, and you should definitely watch them. Please purchase them and enjoy them because they're awesome.
That set is routinely very cheap. So
Yeah, I wonder how I wonder how Mad Max looks on Blu-ray. Like if there's a good transfer of it, or like a
they certainly tried
remastered
a
or
lot.
something. Yeah,
There are several different versions of it. So I don't know
you
how
mean the original
latest
movie?
one-
Yeah, I think there's only so much you can do. I mean, I think I was just made on like really, really grainy ass film.
cheap Australian film.
Yeah.
It's all upside down, and that conversion process is a nightmare.
Runs through the camera the other way. Yeah.
Yeah, because of the Coriolis effect.
Right.
Speaking of fantastical things, sounding things, I'm just going to jump into the other one that I watched. I watched the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Oh my God.
Oh, I did too.
Holy shit! Oh, did you really?
Actually, yeah, I actually just watched the 4K set. At first, it was going to be like
nice.
let me see how this looks, and then it was like, well, I'm done with the first movie. Yeah.
Oh no. I didn't watch a 4K transfer, but I don't have a 4K TV yet, so it wouldn't matter. I'm curious, how does the CG hold up on the 4K transfer? Because on the 1080p version that I watched, it was okay.
Yeah.
Not very good, but okay.
I think here's the thing I came to realize about it is I think the CG's really good. The problem is there's a lot of times that it has the blue screen effect or the green screen effect where it just looks color formed on top of the scene, and that's really its only problem. And it's only really made worse because there's some scenes where it's like it's done so well. You know, like the lighting and everything is so perfect that when it's off, it's like, oh, what happened here? Like, so it's just strange.
I'm speaking mostly of Gollum and his antics. Smeagol. That's the only thing that I found that was really jarring. Is maybe half of those scenes look weird. Looked like he was just pasted on top of the scenes.
Yeah,
That acting is still great.
It seems like it happened more in the lighter the scenes were for whatever reason. Like it seemed like when they were going through like the swampy parts just outside of Mordor, is like it's real bad there. Like anytime there's more light in the scene, it seemed like he would stand out real bad. So.
Yeah, it's a little funny. Those movies are still great.
Yeah.
I kind of did like. I watched the first one, and then the next day I watched Two Towers and Return of the King, and I started Return of the King. It felt like I started it at like 4 o'clock and finished it at 9, with no pauses. Like I watched it straight through, but it felt like that's how long it took me to.
Did you watch the extended versions?
I do not think they are the extended versions.
Okay. I did. So I'm just
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was on the hook for about 11 and a half hours of movies. You were on the hook for like
a long
14
time.
hours of
yeah,
movies.
it's a long time. Here's the really weird thing. The credits in the first movie, 31 minutes.
Yeah.
31
Holy
minutes
shit.
in the first movie. Somehow in the other movies they actually got it down to like 22 or something. They must have just been cramming a lot more names per screen or something. But yeah, that first one, it's just like I saw like how much time, the digital thing said I had left. And then I was like, wait, I'm at the end of the movie. Like, isn't this about where it wraps up? Like, blah, blah, blah. He betrays them. I don't know why I'm not trying to spoil a fucking 80-year-old book. But, yeah, it was just saying like, it's a, I was like, this is the end of the movie. And then like, I hit it again and it was like, oh yeah, because there's 31 fucking minutes of credits.
I was actually thinking about that today, how goofy it was that it was a Kickstarter to fund the extended editions of that movie.
Oh, is that
What?
why? Is that why it's like so
Yes,
friggin' okay?
the credits are all the Kickstarter backers.
Okay, but only in the first movie or something? Yeah.
Wait. It was a Kickstarter to fund extended editions of Lord of the. Was Kickstarter even around back then?
It
Was
it
that
was
the first
crowdfunded.
Kickstarter?
I know that.
That must have been one of the things that started pissing people the fuck off. That has to be. I'm just
Maybe,
saying, like,
yeah.
it's like you made how much fucking money off the regular ass versions of the movies? Go fuck yourselves, Weinsteins.
That's so. That seems so weird to me.
Yeah,
I think I'm remembering that right.
I don't know.
I hope not.
Yeah,
I hope you're wrong.
I really hope that's not
That
true.
sounds
But
ludicrous.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, who knows? They may have just front loaded all the extended edition extra credits, regardless of how it was funded, into the first movie. I don't know, but it's just one of those things where I was like, God damn. Like,
Well, like half of New Zealand worked on the Lord of the Rings.
I think they're
trilogy,
still
so-
working on it somehow. I mean,
Possibly.
I mean, I know Hobbiton is like an actual tourist place you can go now.
It is.
Yeah.
It's special thanks to the charter members of the Lord of the Rings official fan club who helped fund the extended edition.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't know. But yeah,
That's not as egregious as we thought it was. Yeah. I don't know that I can really say anything about Lord of the Rings that hasn't already been said. I still like that 30 minutes of 8 endings of the movie.
yeah,
I liked it when I saw it in theaters, and I still like it.
I don't, because you have the perfect ending and then they fuck it up. I mean, then they're like, all right, this is a pretty good ending too, and then they fuck that up. I mean, like
But you get all of them. You get all of the emotional weight of all of them. I guess I'm not as cynical as you.
No, I'm not cynical. I like, you go out on the best fucking most high fucking emotion, you will not top any of it, and then it's all downhill from there. Is the problem? Like, I am a blubbering goddamn mess when Aragorn says the "you bow to no one" thing, and then it pans out, and it's like, that should be the fucking end of the movie. You know what the fuck happens after that? It's like, that is your glorious goddamn ending. They all go home and live happily ever after, or whatever. It's like, you don't need to see it all. I'm just like, that is how you fucking wrap that movie up. And then it's like, all right, okay, if you want to have one last, if you want to do the everyone getting on the boat scene, okay, but don't let fucking Sam go home and have all that bullshit too. It's just like, that's where I draw the fucking line. It's like, I know he goes home and has a happy life and is occasionally sad that Frodo's not there anymore. God, stop crying, everybody. Like,
Acting.
well, at that point, it's just like, all right, enough.
Give Rudy a chance to act. He
enough
doesn't get.
with the goddamn crying.
Rudy didn't have 2 previous movies to act his ass off about that shit.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just,
Give him 5 minutes to act happy.
Give
And
Rudy a chance to act.
we were all just rooting for Sam to have a chance to do some acting at some point during that movie. That trilogy.
potatoes.
We
Yeah.
were all just slow clapping, going, Rudy.
Right.
Samwise.
His dad's in the stands. Yeah. The whole thing.
I think it's
Sean
Then
asked.
he gets ripped in two. Oh wait, that's not another teen movie.
Gets ripped in 2 by an orc. Just like, ah.
Yeah. No, I adore those movies. I mean, I can always talk shit about them, but yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I think I actually kind of secretly realized is they, to a point, they are some of the most secretly feminist movies of all time. Because like almost literally every female character is either better than whatever counterpart they have or just as good. And like, I mean, Eowyn is like a fucking goddamn badass. I mean, she's like the MVP of the movies almost. And if it wasn't for Frodo and Sam, I'm just saying, it's like,
Yeah.
she's a fucking certified badass.
Well-
Lady Galadriel's obviously wearing the pants in that elf family. I mean, I don't even know the
for
other
sure.
dude's name. I'm just saying, it's like,
Right. Sella Brimbor.
Yeah.
Ping Tang.
Exactly.
Walla Walla Bang Bang.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Mr. Sad Boy wears a ring. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, like Galadriel is like. See, weird thing about Eowyn is she spends 3 movies like, hey, let me do stuff. Hey, let me do stuff. Hey, let me do. Fine, I'm just gonna do stuff. And then she fucking stabs the Witch King in the face as her first act of doing stuff. Like, man,
Yeah.
if you would have let her off the leash. But yeah,
Yeah, and plus,
trying to
and
think
plus
of, like-
Arwen, which is confusing because you have Arwen and Eowyn, but Arwen is also just
Well,
like, yeah, hey, fuck you, Dad, I'm going to do what I want. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, it's like,
maybe I'm gonna die, but I'm gonna die doing what I
I'm
want.
just saying, it's like, and the whole movie's basically like, you know what, the shit that men have been doing is pretty fucking stupid, and it's probably going to continue to be stupid. Everyone's like, I don't know, I guess we'll just fucking leave it in charge of the men. I'm just saying, they're just like, oh, well, we're fucked.
Yeah, we're out, guys.
It's like, well, we found a way we can have Middle Earth just a little bit longer. So we'll put the semi-immortal man in charge.
yeah,
Yeah, and then give him an elf wife. So it'd be a long time before the men actually take over.
Right. Men.
Yeah. Because that's another thing. Is, like, they don't even touch on, like, the fact that, like, Aragorn's like semi-immortal in the non-special editions. I don't believe there's a whole scene.
Oh, they touch on it.
Do they? Well, then you must have watched the special edition. I'm pretty sure that scene is not in the regular one, where it's like
the one with Eowyn talking
yeah,
about.
where it's like, how old are you? Like, I'm 87 or whatever. It's like, yeah. So,
I don't know. It's
Yeah.
been so long since I've watched. Maybe I did watch the special editions.
yeah, I'm pretty sure that
Yeah.
scene's not in there. But
I don't know. I haven't. I don't have the
well, okay, so,
encyclopedia of changes.
No, all right. So the other one I remember is a scene that is not in the standard, the theatrical editions, is like the Treebeardy int scene. Do Merry and Pippin like get swallowed up by roots and shit? That in
They
the one,
do. I thought that happened in the.
that is not in the theatrical. I'm
Okay.
like 99% sure that is one of the scenes that is not in the theatrical version. Because the way that, like, I remember like watching that, thinking for half a second when they were like, something's coming, and I was like, are they actually going to do fucking Tom Bombadil? Like, because it should have been in the movie before, but like when it was like this,
Right.
something's coming in the woods or something, like I hear something, I was like, oh god, they're actually going to fucking do it for half a second. And
Yeah, I don't think they. Yeah, I don't think they had the budget to put that into the special edition. Did they even ever film anything for Tom Bombadil?
I don't know.
Tom Bombadil is weird. I'm glad they left him out.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Come at me, man.
Yeah.
He sucks.
Yeah.
Like, important part of the story, yes, but also maybe a rapist. Like,
Also, like,
maybe an immortal rapist.
Yeah, but also did he like have all the woodland creatures living in his beard and shit too? Like, wasn't that one of his characteristics? Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, and that's fine. Like, if you're like a god of the woods or something, but man, just creeptacular. You could have left that one out, Tolkien. He could have just been like Tom, the guy who rescues the hobbits. Like, I'm here to save you because I have a cool sword.
Hi,
And-
I'm Tom the wizard.
Yeah, he doesn't even have to be a wizard. Just a guy with a cool sword. Just like, hey, I'm Tom. I'm here to save you. I heard some.
Well, he'd
Motion.
actually probably have to be an enchanter, like his brother Tim, Tim the enchanter.
Right, Tim and Tom.
The
Yeah.
enchanters. Possibly.
You hear that, Peter Jackson?
Possibly
Re-
rapists.
special edition.
Yes.
Definitely, I want a definitely not a rapist replacement for Tom Bombadil.
Okay.
It's like Tom Johnson, Forest Man.
You want an insurance salesman to be
I just want a guy that's not that fucking weirdo.
fucking local comptroller to be?
If he has a cool sword, yes, Chuck.
Okay, all right. That's
I'm Tom Johnson. Come down and donate your extra gold for cash. Give us your precious, and we'll give you cash.
Only only thing I think I want or would want out of Lord of the Rings is Arwen doing some shit with her cool sword. That's a thing that I noticed. I was like, man, she has a cool ass sword. I'm really digging swords right now. Like, yeah, she's got a cool ass sword. She should do something with it. She should murder some orcs or something. And she doesn't. She
Yeah,
just
the only thing she kind of sort of murders are the Nazgul in the river, and it's like that's not even with a cool ass sword. I mean,
yeah. I mean, that's cool.
sure,
I appreciate like thundering horse water, mowing down the Nazgul.
which is
that's cool.
Which is the BJ's Club version of Mountain Dew. Thunder and horse water.
I'd drink thundering horse water. Chuck would bring thundering horse water over on Wednesdays for the podcast.
I know you would.
The next time we meet in person, that's what I'm bringing with me.
I'm bringing the sea broth. I'm bringing the thunder and horse water.
Oh God. Seabroth, throwback to episode like 25.
Yeah, it was 100 years ago.
Yeah. But yeah, Lord of the Rings kicks ass.
Yeah.
I am not going to disclose my current series until I'm done with it. So,
Ooh.
yeah.
Yep.
I don't know if, yeah.
Well,
I'm not gonna say anything about it, just in case I don't finish it or never do this again.
It's good. It's good not to commit.
The last
Yeah,
thing I
that's
wanted
what
to say about Lord of the Rings is I think they needed to probably give Aragorn like one more hero shot in Return of the King. I was just saying,
yeah,
like,
you think they need one more?
no, just I think one more would have done it. Like, there wasn't quite enough. I mean, it's just
No?
like he gets the one where it's like they jump over the boat, and it's like, how? What are you gonna do? Like, take all of us? And then it's just like, and then it's like,
Yeah.
then the other one of them jumping off the boat right onto the orcs, and and then like the for Frodo, just like,
Yeah.
it's good stuff though.
Yeah, it's a lot of
Speaking
fun.
of trilogies,
Ah. Is it though? I mean, I don't know. That's a weird
I
noise
mean,
to
well, it's 2.5 movies that are part of a thing, and then who knows what the hell happened. But Harlow and I, independently of each other, both had the same thought, which was, we're probably going to watch that Justice League thing when it comes out because there's nothing else to do. So
right.
we should be familiar with those previous ones a little bit, so that we kind of get what they're going for with this new thing.
Yeah, and much like you, I was like, I think I remember, Man of Steel and Batman v Superman pretty well, but I'm pretty sure I only watched Justice League once because it was that bad. So,
Yeah.
But then my stupid brain was like, well, completionist, got to catch all the things that they might possibly reference, and I guess this probably also means I have to go watch Suicide Squad again. Damn it! I just thought of that.
I didn't go that far.
I probably will. Anyway.
Okay.
But yeah, we watched the Snyderverse, Batman, Justice League stuff, Superman things. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird because like it's clearly a Superman movie, then sort of a Superman movie, and then not really a Superman movie at all.
Yeah, the worst Superman movie
Yeah.
because of his goddamn lip.
Yep. You don't spit on Superman's lip.
So anyway, before we get to that, so you were telling me earlier that you've kind of come around on Man of Steel because you and I went to a midnight show when that came out, and man, I remember how just fucking you were angry for two reasons. One, because someone was applauding it at the end of that. You were like, "Man, fuck you! I'm gonna come murder you."
Well, no, and someone was doing dumb shit like before it even started too. Like, I mean, it was
Yeah.
just like they were gonna like Siskel and Dumbert the whole fucking thing like behind us, and I just literally turned around and was like, "Are you gonna do this little fucking movie?" Because it was like 2 minutes in on the Krypton scene. It was like, "Oh, what's that? Who is that? Where is that? Who is that?" I was like, "Shut the fuck up."
Yeah.
The annotated subtitled version will be on earlier in the day.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So it was bookended by a bad time.
Right, but I also didn't really enjoy the movie in between.
Right.
Yeah, I think maybe the current state of DC movies as they are is beat me into some sort of submission that I've come around that like Man of Steel. I'm almost to the point that like Man of Steel is kind of like X-Men First Class for me. Like, I think it's about 90% really good, actually, and then 10% just holy shit, what the fuck. The thing about like X-Men First Class is it's just peppered within, throughout the whole movie, where it's like, oh, that effect was bad because you didn't have any money or time. And this one's like a clear demarcation because it's like the second they turn on the world engine
Yes.
things, it's like that movie, you could pretty much stop it from there. It's bad kind of from that point on.
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
I find myself checking out of that movie around the same time because the destruction is just so it everything about it feels so ridiculously gratuitous and unnecessary.
Which is weird because the thing I was really noticing is I think the movie actually does a really good job of depicting Kryptonian powers. Like, that's a thing. But I mean, like, making you feel like this is how you would perceive somebody with Superman's powers, with the like super fast motion. Almost, it's not. And that's the thing, is like he actually he doesn't do too much speed ramping, which is like his thing, and you would think you would do with this, where it's like every time he would zip zoop over here, it would like be some dumb speed ramped Zack Snyder thing, and he honestly doesn't do that for most of the movie.
Yeah.
And it's weird because like now that I've come around on it, I think like most of the effects in that are actually really goddamn good and well thought out. And then all of a sudden it's just like they turn on those world engines and all the destruction happens, and they're just like, hey, all right, John Peters, you're in charge of this part.
Yeah.
It's just like,
What if we had a laser jackhammer? We were just fucking jackhammering the earth.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not saying it's all bad because I think like the street level stuff with Perry White and all that is like good, and I mean it's kind of dumb just because it's like it's a little too melodramatic, but I'm okay with that again in Superman stuff. But
yeah, give Perry White something to do. It's Lawrence fucking Fishburne.
Right, yeah, I mean you stack this cast and then like don't bother to give him anything to do. Yeah, but like, it's just like from that point forth, it's just, chaotic CG, which is something like I meant to say during the Lord of the Rings thing is I know there's some, I haven't come up with a good phrase for this because, like I'd probably have to find like the earliest example of it to be like some nuke the fridge, jump the shark thing to say like, this is it. This is the problem with all things CG is Lord of the Rings, for the most part, is really good about not having the dumbass on a banana peel CGI effects, where it's just like, things are crazy and we're doing something that like nobody would actually do, but because it's a computer, we can do it, like that kind of thing. And and the thing is, like, the Hobbit trilogy is loaded with that, and that's why it sucks. Like, I mean, it's like Lord of the Rings was like so good about like using their CG for good and not just to like do really dumb things for no reason. I mean, I think there's a couple of gratuitous camera shots that they did in computers that, all right, maybe like don't work as well or whatever. I mean, again, I'm talking about Lord of the Rings, but like Man of Steel, it's like they follow that rule really well for most of the movie, and then it's just like, well, we let the B team in the the computer room, and they just went nuts with the CG, and now Superman is flying elbow dropping, and whatever dumb things are happening in the background that you can't even tell because it's just giant metal spider and nonsense.
Yes. Yeah. I'm kind of amazed. So I my problem with the whole third act of that, basically the world engine stuff, is more from a story standpoint, because I always go back to, and this is the stupidest thing in my brain, but I always go back to Pacific Rim, and I'm like, you know what? That goddamn robot stepped over the skywalk and was trying to cause as little destruction as possible. And Superman is just like, nah, I'm gonna fly you through a building because it's here, and that building probably wasn't empty.
Well, clearly not, as evidenced by the next movie's whole crux of it happening.
I at that point, I firmly believe that Superman would be trying to lead these things away from the biggest goddamn city in the world. And instead, he's just like, nah, I'm just going to fly you through every building. Now I'm going to drop a building on you. Now here's a satellite. I'm going to throw that into. It's like, okay, I get the spectacle that you're going for here, but Jesus Christ, calm down. Like, this is too much.
Yeah, I know.
So.
Like, and that's the thing, is like that would be that is a completely valid criticism that I think was in my head that I've somehow like let go of over time, because like that's not even really what bothers me about it. And I
Right.
think it's because they course corrected so incorrectly into the next movie.
Right.
Because I mean, it's the entire, jumping off point. It's the reason for the plot to be in motion for that movie. And then like not only that, later in the movie they're going out of their way to be like, they're on Stryker's Island, sir, it's uninhabited, they can beat it up all they want to, there's no people. I mean, it's just like, yeah, guys, all right, Christ, we get it, okay,
Yeah. I know.
like yeah.
Batman makes a point to say, "I'm going to lure him over here." There's
Right.
no. It's like, okay, I kind of get it. You're scarred by what happened at the end of the first.
I mean, Superman's still doing some like incredible property damage in the second movie for like kind of no reason. Because there's one point where I think he just hurls Doomsday into like a gas canister plant thing for some reason that all blows up, and it's like, well, you knew that wasn't going to work, and that was probably millions upon millions of dollars worth of shit you just blew up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. But see, here's the thing. The second movie, for whatever reason, which I think is only as far out as 18 months after the first movie. I think that's the title card they throw up at one point. It says 18 months later or something like that. I think that's the only amount of time that's happened between these two. Superman in the second movie is easily turned at the drop of a hat. You could just go, "Hey, Superman, someone said something mean to you," and he's like, "Fuck this, I'm out of here, I'm mean now," and he's gone. It's like, the fuck, dude, calm down. Like, every other version of Superman I've ever seen bends over backwards to try to just be like, "Hey, look, doing my best, just but he's just like, "Oh yeah, fuck you," boom, and he's gone. And I'm like, he is an easily turned Superman, and that's distressing to me. I don't much care for that. Even though I think this movie is the best of the three, it is also the stupidest of the three, and I don't know if that's part of my enjoyment of it.
Wait,
I'm talking about the Ultimate Edition.
Do you like Batman v Superman any incarnation more than Man of Steel?
Yes,
Wow,
I do.
holy shit!
Because I think there's a skeleton of a great movie in there.
I think there's an abomination any way you slice that thing. Like I don't think you could not fix that movie in terms of me. I mean, like I think it's interesting as a concept, as a thought experiment to what they set up, but it's so feels like, well, we did that, now what? Kind of style of screenwriting instead of like, this is what we wanted to get to.
Yeah.
Kind of writing that it just, and then I mean, I'm sorry, I don't want to be that guy, but I mean, it's insulting to like call those characters and then have them do what they do in that movie. Like nobody fits, like you said, Superman's, one small like word away from becoming, the evil
He is, yeah.
fucking what are those games? The goddamn the two games that are the fighting games, Injustice,
yeah.
the evil Injustice like overlord version of Superman. I mean, that they were clearly like, that's popular now, why don't you allude to that too? He's one step away from that, so he's like an asshole to everybody in that. Batman, I mean, look, we can get into whether do Batman or Superman kill people. Okay, let's go with they at least try to avoid it. I mean, look,
Finally, we broke him down.
I mean, look, I will give you okay, maybe there are times where it might happen in your, crime fighting that something happens and you inadvertently have some, but they're not setting out to murder. And Batman straight up murders at least 30 people in Batman v Superman. Murders, not 40 beats per minute. Like, is launching guns from his bat thing into people that are then exploding. Murders. like no doubt about it.
I remember the first person he kills in that movie, I just said out loud, "Well, that guy's dead."
Yeah. Straight up murdering. Like, why do these bat things have guns on them anyway? Like, that's part of the problem, I mean, I know you can go back and say, well, I'm pretty sure there were guns on the Tim Burton one. Yes, but one time to shoot a thing to disarm it or whatever, not hey, there's a guy in a car, let's murder him.
Let's put 100 bullets in him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway.
Okay, so listen, the things I like about this movie is that I like coming into the Batman story 20 years after the Batman story started and just dealing with that.
Sure.
I think that's interesting.
That's the way
Even
to
though
do it.
they still do the goddamn origin story anyway.
Yes. Yes, they do.
The fucking pearls and all that.
Also, the most improbable theater ever, because they were like, well, it's 1981, so they'd probably be going to see like Excalibur, but also like let's put the Mark of Zorro, which is the actual thing they went to in the original Batman comic book, even though no movie theater in 1981 would be showing this thing from 1939 at all. But sure. Anyway, yes.
Yeah. I for some reason find it fascinating that half of the Batman scenes in that movie only take place in his head.
Yeah. Okay.
Most of the Batmaning in that movie is just Batman having a dream.
I mean, isn't it just the one Flashpoint dream, or does he dream some other time? Oh no, he does.
The opening, like with the bat swirling around, that's a dream.
That's true. Yeah. And then
the Flash yelling at him. I don't know what the fuck that is. That's never explained.
I mean, it's for comic book people, everyone is like, oh, it's the Flashpoint scene, but like that means nothing because they don't bother. They don't even make the dialogue that he says coherent. It's just like, it's like, I heard Bruce. Yeah.
Yes. I think, okay, Batman has a legit beef against Superman in that movie for 2/3 of it. And then it's very obviously clear that Superman is not the threat that Batman thinks he is. But Batman's like, it's too late. I've committed to this bit. I've got to go versus him. It's in the title. I gotta do it.
I already stole the kryptonite from the people that stole the kryptonite, so I'm pot committed.
I did that.
Yeah.
And I like that there's a montage of him fucking doing working out and moving the tire and all the dumb.
Yeah.
And
Batman does CrossFit, yo.
But that doesn't fucking matter because he just puts a super suit over his other bat suit. Like, him working out doesn't mean shit. He's put a cyborg suit over his regular Batman outfit. So him like throwing the big truck tire around and punching cinder blocks and shit doesn't matter. It's fucking stupid.
Do you not think that the bat butt and that scene were like in Ben Affleck's contract? Like, hey motherfuckers, I worked out for 18 goddamn months to be Batman.
Yeah.
I will be seen shirtless a minimum of 5 minutes, and then you will show my butt in shadows in the shower.
Yes, fine.
Or else I bat walk.
I find it incredibly amusing that there is a spaceship in the middle of Metropolis with scientists studying it only during the day shift. Like at 5 o'clock, they're like, well, gotta go. And then no one is working on this thing. That's fucking stupid.
Hey, Chuck, everyone knows there is no crime at night in Metropolis. That's only Gotham. Like, all the criminals are in the daytime in Metropolis, and then they take the ferry over and do all their crime at night in Gotham.
Yeah. I'm not even going to mention, because I mentioned this before last time we were talking about this movie, the fact that Clark Kent doesn't even know who Bruce Wayne is, and you can stand at the end of Metropolis and fucking see Gotham City. It's like, how do you not know who the richest goddamn person in the world is?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, he doesn't know who Bruce. Yes, he doesn't know. He doesn't even know who Bruce Wayne, the alter ego, like the actual person Bruce Wayne is. Much less putting together the fact that he's Batman.
Yes, he's just at a party. He's like, hey, who's that? It's like, what the fuck, dude? You're a reporter.
Yes. A, he's a reporter. B, he's been all over the world saving shit. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I'm sorry. I think it would have come up.
Yeah.
But okay, so I said all that to say this. The save Martha scene is the stupidest fucking thing that's ever been committed to film in the history of film. It is the biggest, dumbest contrivance that isn't even done well. It's just fake Batman is choking out Superman, and Superman's just like, save Martha. And it's like, why would you even say that? He wouldn't know what that means. But for some reason, like, oh, wait, that's my mom's name, too. Why did you say that?
His mom's name is my mom's name, too.
Now, because of that, I'm it at least leads to the most Batman scene in the movie, which is where he goes and tries to save Martha
Right.
and fucking murks 30 dudes in a room, killing most of them, yes, but
Oh, he definitely kills the one dude that lands on his neck. That's for sure. Yeah.
yes, he does.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that scene,
He's,
that
he,
scene
I
fucking
mean, at the
rules.
very least, he's going to be in bat traction for at least a year.
Yeah. That scene fucking rules.
Also,
that
by the
scene
way,
is
hold
really
on.
good.
Before we clear Martha, that scene could have been made a little bit better.
Oh, okay.
There is a third hero in this movie that also could have had a Martha mom, and that is Wonder Woman.
That's right.
Yes, Martha Woman could have also been a character in this movie.
Yes. Why didn't they?
I don't know.
Why wasn't the Flash's scene him saying just
Yeah, Martha Flash.
Martha Flash?
First name Love, last name Flash. Yeah, come on. I know what the fuck is going on here. I know about shit. I've been in a comic book store, man. Every superhero's mom is Martha.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just they came up with these rules in the 30s. There's nothing we can do
It's
about
part of the Comics Code Authority. Like if you have a mom named something other than Martha, you don't get that stamp.
it. Right.
Yeah, that's what Gwen Stacy's mom was. Not Martha. No stamp. It wasn't because she died.
No.
Spoilers.
It's an illegal comic.
Yeah. Actually,
But yeah,
wasn't even. I'm pretty sure they had the Comics Code. It's the drug one. Actually, it doesn't have the Comics Code.
Yeah. I fully admit that the ending of that movie is your end of Return of the King ending.
How many endings it has?
Well, no, it just wrecks me. Like
And-
the whole funeral thing just wrecks me.
Really?
Yeah.
Batman v Superman.
Yeah. Not just because of this Superman, but because of all Supermen.
Come on, Chuck. Not all Superman.
I just
They
all-
didn't give me any.
the-
They didn't make me. I kind of hated the Superman throughout this movie. That it did nothing for me. It was just sort of like, yeah, you kind of became a shitty Superman.
Well, I was just affected so much by that opening scene where the kids are talking to him on the video camera with his weird dumb face.
It's also like, what is? It's like the dumbest
Scene
thing.
is so pointless.
Like,
It means fucking nothing.
I mean, I get that it's like, oh, Superman's a man of the people, but like, could you get some better kids? Like, have you ever fought a hippo? he would fight a hippo. He's Superman. Yeah. If
I
you
just
if
love
you haven't
that they
seen
ask
the
him-
extended or the ultimate edition, that I pretty much just captured the opening scene for you.
Yeah. We just
Just imagine Henry Cavill with a weird quivering CG lip.
right. Or no, I'm sorry. That's the first scene in
Justice League.
Justice League.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It all runs
Sorry.
together.
Right. It does, except Justice League is the hands down worst of the three. It's terrible. It's bad. Like, you can't take two styles and throw them together and think it's going to work. You can't have one happy-go-lucky style mashed with fucking Zack Snyder nihilistic bullshit and expect the two to work together. That movie's just a mess.
Yeah.
Justice League is a goddamn mess, and they should remake it.
Well, have I got some good news for you?
Maybe not good news, just news.
Have I got some news for you?
I mean, look, I don't give a shit specifically about Zack Snyder. I really don't. Like, as a filmmaker, who cares? But I'm interested to see the version of that film that commits to one tone.
I'm committed to anything that thinks they can fix that, because that looks like an unfixable mess. That's the only reason I'm interested. Like, I don't think there's
No.
any way you can salvage that, and sticking more Jared Leto in it certainly doesn't seem like the way to do it. I mean,
No,
that
considering
did
the
not
one
seem
that
like-
exists now has zero Jared Leto in it.
yeah, I mean, and that's the doctor recommended daily allowance of Jared Leto is
Yes.
zero.
Zero.
Any more additional Jared Letos, and you're risking something.
Yes.
Mail fraud? I don't know.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That I rarely let movie reshoots bother me. but they're so obvious in that. It's Fantastic Four level of you just have a different head now. Like your hair doesn't even look like it did in the previous scene.
Oh, I can't even tell. I mean, to me, the whole thing looks like a mess. I honestly can't distinguish what's. I mean, like having just watched it, here's the two things about it. Like, I can barely tell you what that movie's about, having just watched it, and like
Steppenwolf
is Born to Be Wild, and yeah, and then something like I don't know. Like, there's something about boxes. They're trying to collect some boxes.
Yeah.
The Flash says a lot of jokes, and then it's over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Flash is a funny guy.
Yeah, and Superman comes back because they stole his body. They literally grave robbed his body and stuck it in the goo. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they put a box on him.
Wait.
Yeah, okay. No, I
wait. Hang on.
Yeah.
Hang on. I've been only half paying attention because this is all dumb comic book nonsense to me.
Mm-hmm.
They stole Superman's body.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Put it in goo, and he came back.
Yes.
Let us go back to the part I must have missed where Superman is dead.
Yes.
Oh, that was the funeral, of which I don't know why he was trying not to spoil it, because, I mean, it doesn't fucking matter. I mean, there's no weight to anything in these movies because it's just...
Superman's on the fucking poster for Justice League.
Right, yeah. I mean, it's just... Yeah.
Superman dies at the end of Batman v Superman.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because in a roundabout way...
Like,
in a roundabout way, they are doing the Death of Superman storyline. So,
see, all right, if you want to hear all the dumb that's really contained herein...
No, not really.
I'm going to sum it up. It's easy, because General Zod's the bad guy in Man of Steel. He kills General Zod because it's like, kill him or he's going to kill innocent people and you know, whatever. I'm over it. He snaps Zod's neck. So Zod's dead, but then, like, in the next one, Lex Luthor connives a way to get to Zod's body and a Kryptonian ship, and then puts Zod in this, like, regenerative Kryptonian goo stuff, but then throws in some of his own blood, and somehow, voila, it becomes Doomsday. It doesn't make any sense. It's just like, yeah, it's an abomination because it's a Kryptonian and human DNA, and ergo Doomsday. So that's why. So Superman has to kill Doomsday by killing himself, basically. Like yeah, and then.
He's stabbing him with a spear of kryptonite, and the only way to get it in there is to stab himself also.
Right.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
and because it's kryptonite, he's able to, like, it does permanent damage, and he doesn't regen.
He pulls a little.
So they have a big sad funeral, like dual funeral, where it's like big fancy one in a pine box in Smallville, where the real body actually is. Right. And anyway, so they basically have to grave rob without telling Martha Kent, by the way. They just were like, well, we're just, whatever, this seems like a good idea. We should probably just go get Superman's body, hope for the best.
They didn't think they could put him in the goo when he was dying?
No.
That's
they knew about the goo, though.
Well, it's hard to say. There was only a day team working on the goo.
Yeah. Okay. If they had a night shift on the goo, they'd have known what.
Someone would have told them.
Yeah. All right. Sorry to interrupt.
Fighter of the night goo.
Everything's a spoiler tag, but carry on.
Yeah, no, it's frustrating because I think there's an interesting thing to do with the resurrection of Superman, even if you're not doing the storyline from the comics. But this movie is just like, he's confused for about 5 minutes, and then they, just say Martha or whatever, and then he snaps back into it.
Pretty much. I mean, they take him to see Martha. I mean, take him to his farm, and then, like, his mom shows up, and it's like, I remember now. Okay, I'm cool. Anyway, I got to go save shit because I'm Superman.
Right. Don't look at my lip because there's a mustache on it. I love the scene that it's just the things that are obvious that were reshot besides the digital lip is just Ben Affleck not being in Batman shape in the scenes that they reshot, and the one scene where he's taking off his bat gear and he's just got a t-shirt with built-in abs on it, and I'm like, oh, all right.
I didn't even notice that, to be honest with you.
He just has like a green army t-shirt on with like abs, just plastic abs built on top of it. Like, check out my rock hard t-shirt abs. I'm like, oh, okay. Under that, you're fat. So, I don't know. Movie's a mess. It's a goddamn mess.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy my time with that. I mean, I'm glad I've mostly come around on Man of Steel. Yeah, it's frustrating. Like it's frustrating because it's like it's so weird that people are so fervently want to believe that there's good contained in that hot mess of movies, and then are just like, no, absolutely not. Anything Star Wars now is awful or whatever. Like these other hardline stance where it's like, no, there's clearly actual maybe possible good here. Like, I'm not discounting the bad or whatever, or things you might not like or whatever, but like there's clearly actual potential good here and mostly all garbage over here, and you're just I don't know, it's really weird. I would like to understand. I think it has to do with a complete disconnect with caring about the characters. I'm curious how you can give a shit about Batman v Superman or like it in any way. Like it's
I think it's a fascinating film that's almost there. It's almost good. It has the skeleton. It's just wrong. It's just that I don't know. It just seems like someone wasn't thinking. Like you had all the components there, but you did them in the wrong order.
Yeah, I think the fact that the whole thing hinges on what has become my biggest pet peeve in movies of just fucking say words for 2 seconds, like before you start throwing fists, like like Jesus Christ, like there are at least like 5 opportunities throughout that movie for the situation to become diffused. Yes. And everyone's just like, nope, I'm going in hot. Like, I'm going in hard asshole and no turning back. Yeah, it's just weird.
Did somebody say hard asshole?
Yes, I did say hard
I woke
asshole.
up again.
No, it's just weird because it's like there's one point where like someone's like, hey, Superman, you should probably not be a dick. He's like, yeah, you're right. I just got to go work this out. And then immediately it's just like crossed arms like, hey, fuck you doing, Batman? It's like, the fuck kind of... No, that's not how you start talking to somebody.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
That whole the whole versus thing could have been diffused right at the top, but Superman's obviously pissed off, and Batman launches out of the Batmobile in his fucking chunky boy outfit.
chunky boy. Yeah, he does kind of have a chunky boy outfit.
God damn it.
Yeah, I don't know. Just everything about that. It's just it's weird.
So the one like extended dream that he has with the whole like Superman army and all that shit, is that from something? Is that's
they like very half-heartedly attempt to explain that somewhere in the course of that movie in Justice League, because basically Steppenwolf, the villain, like it's real dumb. Like they needed, yes, they needed another goddamn movie. They needed like a Wonder Woman movie, or actually they needed a fucking Hawkman movie. It would have been cool as shit to like fight fucking Steppenwolf, but like Steppenwolf's just supposed to be like one of the people that is like one of the he'd be like one of Thanos's dudes, like one of the like hailing Darkseid, or
Right.
yeah. I mean, it's supposed to be leading into Darkseid, and
Right.
I don't even know if they ever say Darkseid. I think they do, but they
Yes.
say, I think they say Apocalypse once or twice, or
Steppenwolf says it at one point, like when he's jumping into battle, he says for Darkseid or something
Right.
like that. So, and I just remember that it was like, well, that's a weird thing to say, and then never ever explain what the fuck
yeah,
they're
no,
talking about.
it's that's the weird thing is they just were like, oh yeah, the first time they get together, they should probably be fighting the underling of the thing that probably should be in this movie that they actually had to come together to fight. I don't know.
Okay.
They obviously just were like trying to play catch up, didn't bother to like actually do the legwork, and then it just fell apart. And they were like, surprise, we planned this all along. It was all non-connected storytelling now.
Right.
So who knows?
The dude who gets on the boat with Lex Luthor is Deathstroke.
Yes. Which is a very weird, like, they're clearly like, oh, we're going to do a Legion of Doom thing. And it's like, yeah, Deathstroke's the first, like, person I would think you would recruit. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, it's a fucking mercenary. It's like, that's the whole thing. It's like, he's nobody's villain. Like, why would you,
Right.
Yeah.
You would think
Dumb.
maybe, I don't know.
I mean, if they were going to bring in Deathstroke, just throw him on the Suicide Squad. They do it all the time, and then it's like, then you've got, maybe more than one character somebody gives a shit about on the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Batman.
Batman.
Yes. Batman indeed.
Batman.
Hashtag Batman indeed.
Batman. All right, that's all I got.
Yeah.
Is that all we got in general?
That's all I
We
got.
should probably talk about WandaVision at some point, but that's going to require Mackie because he's a very contrary opinion on that.
Well, if I recall, like what was it, episode 3 or 4 turned him around, something like
I
that.
don't.
He's on board now, but
Yeah.
for a while there, it was, man, this is going to be insufferable.
Yeah.
'Cause
I haven't
if-
I haven't watched any of it yet, so
Okay. Yeah.
I-
It started to feel like if anyone said, I like it, he's like, fuck you.
Yeah, I find it utterly delightful in all capacities.
It is a terrific television show.
Yeah, I mean,
thoroughly
y'all have known
enjoy
me
it.
for a couple years. Like
Yes, you should watch
I
it.
should watch it. Okay.
well, I mean, it depends on if you care at all about the through line of the Marvel universe. I mean, there's that factor, and then there's B. It's just kind of a charming, weird thing at the same time.
It's a nice, entertaining thing that
Yeah.
works on two different levels.
Right.
Okay.
Right now, it's like if you want the Marvel shit, you can get the Marvel shit. If
Mm-hmm.
you just want something that's like, wow, Paul Bettany's being weird and that's charming as shit, then you get that too. So
Okay. I will probably watch it then. I will. It's releasing weekly, right?
yes, yes, it is.
Is it about done?
It's got to be coming. Was it 8 episodes that they were going to do?
I think it's 9.
Oh, sure. The new weird.
it's either
thing.
8 or 9. It ends mid-March because then they take a week off and then the other show starts. So
Okay.
Which one's
All right,
first,
I'll
Loki or
probably
the
get-
Falcon Winter Soldier thing?
yeah, that starts last
Falcon
week.
Winter Soldier's first, and then Loki.
Yeah.
Okay.
Loki is over the summer.
Okay.
So yeah, I would say watch it. It's
Okay.
the episode. Some of the episodes are only half an hour. It's
Okay.
kind of like The Mandalorian, and it's just like, hey, take however long you need.
It's a D+ show.
Yes.
Okay. Easy peasy.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's real solid, but it's also like, it's just like everything else. It's working for me on the multi-level thing. You know, it's like it's a charming, weird little what is actually going on here kind of mystery thing, but also it's like, oh, there's major possible Marvel ramification things happening here. You know.
Yeah. It's doing both cute, insignificant things and oh my god, this changes everything.
Right.
things.
Okay, so it's not like The Shield, which is like completely inconsequential.
No. it
Yeah,
is
no,
not
no.
like
This
Agents
is
of
this
S.H.I.E.L.D..
is like, yeah, this is much more. Yeah, I mean, this is the
Okay.
kind of
This is mainline Marvel.
Yeah, this is
stuff.
mainline Marvel. Like this
Absolutely.
is attached. This is movie quality, like movie level. You need this kind of thing.
Yeah. It's a quirky premise. Like
Right.
if this had been a motion picture, people have been like, what the fuck? But
Right.
I mean,
It seems like some people are still what the fucking or
People
were
are-
what the fucking about it.
I don't know.
Okay. All right, I'll give it a try.
Okay.
I'll report back at some point.
I do want to report that even though there's still one episode left, I'm here to say that The Stand fucking sucks.
Oh no, that's terrible news.
Yeah, that is a bad television show. There's one more episode this week, and then that's it. And I can't wait to be rid of it.
Great.
Oh,
Thoroughly disappointing on every level.
What was your take on Castle Rock? That
I liked the first season of Castle Rock. I never saw the second season of Castle Rock.
did they continue on? Because I thought it was one of those things where it was like, hey, some people like this, and then they were just like, yeah, but forget about that.
They made 2 seasons,
two?
and then
Okay.
it was obliterated like
Okay.
all cable shows
Right.
or streaming shows.
I mean, that was a Hulu thing, right? Like
It was a
like a
Hulu
Hulu
thing.
original.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think they just didn't have a plan. I think it started out like the Stephen King universe is all on one show, and then they were like, it's really not. And then people were like, well, I don't want that then. You promised me a thing, and it's not that. So, but I think the first season is neat.
Okay.
So that's all. That's it.
Well, all right then. How about some contact information?
okay. Go to our website. Thank you. That website is bmfcast.com. There's a bunch of links to all of our socials and stuff on somewhere on the website, I assume. Maybe they're there, maybe they're not. If not, we're BMFcast pretty much everywhere. You can find us. It's easy.
Yes.
Also, a notable thing is our Patreon, which is how we pay for all of this shit. How we are like, we pay for our hosting and all of the legal fees that that are involved with being the kind of dickheads we are. Just a couple things that have happened lately that I would like to note, because we're on week 76 of this fucking quarantine bullshit. Your Patreon funds have funded an upgrade to Mackey's setup. So
Yes. That's why he's
look
not
forward.
here.
Right. Yeah. He had to take a week off to plug in some cables.
So he fixes the gable.
But yeah, so thank you for the upgrade in sound quality. Also, I got a capture card here I had it shipped to me, but it's for all of us, and we'll be doing some more video game stuff very shortly with the aid of a capture card over on No Quarters, which Patreon also helps fund. So thank you all who have contributed, and thank you if you're considering contributing, especially again, week 76 of this bullshit. I know that we're still that a lot of us are still waiting on some sort of stimulus or ain't got no jobs and all that. So I know times are tough, and we appreciate all of you that have continued to contribute to the Patreon and who are considering it. It's much appreciated. Thank you for taking a couple bucks out of your wallet and throwing it at the TV screen.
And we are
Towards us.
absolutely going to be back.
Oh, for sure.
Please don't think this is just going to wither away. We are just waiting for the all clear.
Yeah, we are 1/4 vaccinated at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And the big problem is we are relatively healthy folks in our 30s and 40s, and so we're right in that zone where nobody gives a shit about giving us the vaccine. They're trying to get all the frontline workers and old folks first, and so as soon
Podcasters
as
are not a priority.
we are not. No, we tried to apply for a PPP loan and get classified as essential workers, but it didn't work.
No, they saw right through that.
They did. Yeah.
For legal reasons, also, we did not try to do that.
Right. Well, I mean, we could have. We're a small business, very, very, very small business.
Sure, we could have. But rest assured, we did not actually file the paperwork.
No, we did not. We're not those. We may be a very, very, very small business, but we're not assholes. I mean, we might be assholes, but we're not that kind of asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But anyway, yeah, the BMFcast will return properly as soon as we can all get vaccinated. That's really what we're waiting on, as far as I'm aware. Or if we could get a really big room, but we don't have enough Patreon funds for that yet to rent out a conference room.
Help us get this really big room, you guys. Donate to the Patreon so we can rent out a ballroom and do our podcast from 4 different corners of the big ballroom.
Well, what we want to get is a really big warehouse room, and then eventually, once we can all podcast within 6 feet of each other, we'll go back to the regular studio and then turn the warehouse into the BMFcast family fun zone.
Ah, yes.
And theater. Anyway,
I don't know if I want to be a part of running something called a family fun zone, because it doesn't sound right these days. I've been online and I don't want any part of that. Yeah,
not that kind of family fun zone.
I sure, but
no,
I don't want those people randomly wandering in either, is what I'm saying. It is a warehouse, and I mean, it does kind of invite people to be like, hey, I wonder what's happening over here in this family fun zone.
Well, I don't think that happens at the family fun zone that was near the old studio. So I think we'll be all right.
You don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
The island of Dr. Morglow and what have you.
Yes, the best blacklight mini golf course name ever.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes, let's get out of here, shall we?
Yes.
I'm Harlow.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And for Mackie, this is BMFcast Variety Hour out.
Variety Hour.
Sometimes I know
Hey!
exactly what is going to make Chuck laugh. And so I really lean into it.
Hey, look.
You know, it's funny. I was actually just watching something where they were.
Congratulations.
No, I think there was more to that, and they were in like one of those like mini warehouse type office things. You know, that it could be like a small warehouse or an office building. And I was like, man, like there's so many of these around town. I wonder like how much one actually is to rent. Like I just
They
feel
are
like,
shockingly expensive.
they probably are. They
Yeah.
probably have that stupid mentality of they'd rather have them sit empty than provide a reasonable rent for them. But
Yep.
which is a wonderful mentality to have. But yeah, no, I was just curious because like there's so many of those all around everywhere. I was curious what it would take to rent one to like have an office space slash studio
arcade.
room and all kinds of things.
So, you know, one that's about the size of that Firehouse Subs we used to go to? Mm-hmm. How much would you think that just that space would cost? Not in that location, but just that space.
I have no idea, like literally no idea what commercial real estate goes for.
Well,
Not even
when
in
you
the
come to a
foggiest.
figure, double it.
$3 bajillion.
Yes, approximately. Okay, so this weirdly dovetails with a thing that I've been looking at because
You want to
I've
live in
wanted a
warehouse.
work. Yeah, I've wanted a workshop space. Like, just all I want is like a 10 by 10 room with power, right? Where I can put a workbench, some tools. I just want a place like almost like a storage unit, like a one car size storage unit, but
A
with
garage.
power. Yeah, a garage. Right, exactly garage sized or smaller. I could deal with smaller. And I started looking for stuff like that online, and it's just like it's unaffordable levels. It's like, you know, $3,000 a month for a 600 square foot piece of like a room in a strip mall or a room in one of those little single story places where they have like 5 different kinds of doctors and, you know, all that kind of shit. It's just
Yeah, I was just thinking those warehouse ones might be cheaper, but I don't know.
they're not because you can't. Yeah, you'll find one, but it's like, okay, the warehouse is 60,000 square feet, and you pay a square foot per year price, and it's more money than you've ever seen in your entire life. Like it works out to like $9,000 a month.
It would probably almost be easier to find a cheap piece of property and throw a prefab structure on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
I
mean-
think that's why a lot of places do that. They'll buy a plot of land for 10 grand off of, you know, in a weird spot where they can, that's far enough removed to be cheap, but also they can still get UPS deliveries or whatever.
Yeah. Well, that and you know you want utilities. You don't want to be too far out in the boonies.
Right. But yeah, I think that's why that happens, because at least you own the land then, and if your business goes under, you can, hey, here's some land in a room. That'll be 10 grand a month. I did find there was a really cool place kind of close to downtown that gave me really good Ghostbusters vibes. Like it would be a good Ghostbusters building.
That was an old firehouse.
It wasn't quite an old firehouse, like, but it gave you those vibes, and I was like, oh man, I want that. How much is that? And it was like $10,000 a month, even though you could tell that nobody had occupied that place for like years. It was all overgrown, and
I guess I have to clarify now when I say an old firehouse. I do not mean the submarine sandwich place. I mean the
Right,
actual
right.
establishment where firefighters stay and work out of.
right.
Yes.
It did not look like either, but it had the vibes. Like it had like a loading dock. It was a 2-story brick building. It was really cool. I wanted it. I cannot have it. I cannot afford it.
I always wanted to buy that old school. That's like not the one that's there by Stockton, but there was another one that they were like
Oh, yeah.
always trying to sell for as real estate or something. Because I don't think the city wants to give up that one on Stockton for some reason. The one they just use as like
Yeah, I don't know why.
yeah, it's
Like,
weird.
It's a historic school for some reason.
Yeah, but why is it just a book storage place. Basically, is all I've heard. It's like that's all it is. Like old school supplies and shit are crammed in there.
Oh, wait.
The one in Stockton College, I guess that is.
Oh no, that's been turned into
Yeah,
apartment homes
okay.
now.
It has finally. Okay.
Yeah, it's called the John Gorey.
Okay.
It's named after the school. So
Yeah, for the longest time, there it seemed like the city did not want to give up that school for some reason.
yeah, it's land they'd already paid for. They don't like to give that shit up unless it's to hand it out to a billionaire to do nothing with it.
Is it zoned for school? Because you probably get
Not
tax
anymore.
revenue based on. I don't know.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
But it definitely isn't anymore. It's now real estate.
Okay. All right. Send me files.
I am sending you files now.
That sounds
Also,
great.
those apartment homes were way too expensive for when they were built and where they were built, where they were renovated.
Yeah,
like-
your tip. Everything is too expensive.
Yeah.
Literally everything.
I was just thinking about some stuff like that I'm not going to go into, but I've been thinking real hard about a lot of stuff. It's time for a life of crime is really what this is going to boil down to.
Cool, I'm in.
All right.
Oh, I mean, you didn't ask, but
No, that's cool. I'm cool with that. I'll crime with you.
Cool, I get half. Wait, what?
yeah, I probably should have shot for something better. Like I didn't actually have to be involved, but got the dividends.
I need a patsy anyway, so you're good.
Yeah.
I'll be the hacker back at the base.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, route your calls through Friendster and
I'll sit in the van.
MySpace, Live Journal.
Okay. Chuck calls Van. Harlow's the patsy. Mackey's got to be my muscle, I think.
Wait, are you saying
'Cause he's
are you saying I'm not the wild card?
No,
What?
you didn't choose when you joined. I get to decide because you didn't choose.
How am I not the wild card?
You just said I'm in, and I was like, okay, well, I will choose your fate now. I'm the leader guy. We got a different guy that's a wild card.
It's probably Tommy.
No, like DNA evidence everywhere. Like,
That's okay. It's his DNA evidence.
so he's the patsy.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. I'm ruining it now.
Wild card, bitches.
You ruined the whole thing.
He's not listening.
Yeah, but the rest of the world knows now my
Oh,
evil
they
plan.
won't care. Everyone's all wrapped up in their own bullshit.
That's true.
Yes, those well, Kyle, it does sort of depend on where. Like there's places in Texas you can just go find a building, it's practically free. But in any developed nations, places like that are fucking expensive.
Even though our state is going to be underwater soon, they still put a premium on real estate here. So.
Yeah. Like I know that there are some YouTubers who have just like bought land, like they can afford to just buy a bunch of land. Like the Modern Rogue guys, they're not just YouTubers, but that's a big part of their thing right now. Brian Brushwood and his friend Jason, whatever, they just bought Murphy, Jason Murphy.
Robards. Oh. I thought maybe he came back and had a YouTube career.
They just they bought a huge piece of property in Texas rather than like rent out a warehouse and shit for their stuff. It's the way to go if you have the money to do it. But obviously we are but simple, poor working men.
I mean, I'm just a caveman. All your big words scare me.
I'm just a simple Southern lawyer. And Chuck's got like obligations. Harlow and I could move into a compound together. That'd be
Yeah,
cool.
join the cult. Fuck the sun.
The nighttime is the right time.
Yeah. I mean, you need a haircut, right?
I do.
Yeah. I just did mine.
They
so,
say
yeah.
you said you needed to get a haircut. They're gonna cut your fucking hair.
See, I cut my own hair. I mean, I'm halfway there. I just have to cut yours, and we're good.
Yeah.
Colt. Yeah, I'll use the same guard links, and that'll be our thing. Like,
Yes.
yeah, and then we'll just,
Yeah.
We shall be the wall guard. Or Con Air. I don't know. I don't care.
The walled garden, WAAAHL. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. But GUARDEN.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Garden. Guard
Yeah.
apostrophe in. Garden.
Yeah. The nighttime is the right time.
Yeah.
They say the sun sucks. You say, yeah, fuck the sun. I fucking hate it too. Long live the fucking beast.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm leaving this.
Let's get some commune money
Okay.
going.
Goodbye.
Fairly well, everyone. Good night,
Thanks.
Internet.
Good night, Internet.